diner was louder than usual that afternoon. Clinking plates, overlapping conversations, the hiss of coffee being poured. For most customers, it was just another busy lunch hour. For Lily, it was the hardest part of her shift. She tightened her grip on her notepad, took a breath, and approached table 7. A well-dressed man sat there, tall and composed, scrolling through his phone. Across from him was an elderly woman with kind eyes and silver hair neatly pinned back. The woman smiled warmly at Lily, but didn't respond when Lily greeted them. The man looked up, impatient. "She's deaf," he said flatly. "Just bring the menu." Lily nodded quickly, cheeks flushing. She was shy by nature, words often tangling in her throat. But when she looked back at the elderly woman, she noticed something else. Confusion. The woman didn't know what was happening. She was watching lips she couldn't read, surrounded by noise she couldn't hear. Lily hesitated. Then, almost without thinking, she lifted her hands. "Hello? Welcome, my name is Lily." Her fingers moved carefully, precisely. The elderly woman's eyes widened. She leaned forward, her face lighting up with surprise and joy. Her hands trembled slightly as she signed back. "You know sign language?" Lily smiled, small, nervous, but genuine. "Yes, a little. My father was deaf." The man looked up sharply. "What are you doing?" he asked, irritation creeping into his voice. Lily froze for a second, then gestured gently toward his mother. "I'm telling her the specials," she said softly. The elderly woman reached across the table and squeezed Lily's hand, eyes glistening. She signed quickly now, emotion pouring through her movements. "No one talks to me anymore," she said. "They talk around me." Lily swallowed hard. "I see you," Lily signed back. The man stared between them, something unreadable crossing his face. He watched his mother laugh silently, shoulders shaking with joy, her loneliness momentarily forgotten. Other diners began to notice. The noise of the diner seemed to fade as people glanced over, sensing something tender unfolding in the middle of the chaos. Lily finished taking the order, carefully signing each item, making sure the elderly woman understood. When she stepped away, her hands were still trembling. She hadn't meant to draw attention. She hadn't meant to do anything extraordinary. She had just meant to be kind. What Lily didn't know was that the man at the table wasn't just any customer. He was a billionaire, and as he watched his mother smile in a way he hadn't seen in years, something inside him broke open. Quietly, completely, tears welled in his eyes. Because for the first time in a long time, someone hadn't treated his mother like a problem to manage, but like a person worth listening to. The billionaire, Ethan Hale, didn't speak for a long time. He sat back in his chair, watching his mother's hands move with life and ease, her laughter silent but full. The tightness he always carried in his chest loosened, just a little. For years he had handled her needs like tasks on a checklist. Interpreters, private care, luxury accommodations, everything except simple human connection. Lily returned with their drinks, careful not to intrude, but Ethan stopped her with a raised hand. "Wait," he said quietly. She froze, panic flickering across her face. "I'm sorry if I—" "You didn't do anything wrong," he interrupted, voice rougher than he expected. "You did something rare." He turned to his mother and spoke slowly so she could read his lips, though Lily noticed his signing was clumsy, incomplete. "She understands you better than I do," his mother signed gently, smiling at him. "You should thank her properly." Ethan swallowed. He stood, walked around the table and extended his hand to Lily. "Thank you," he said. Just 2 words, but his eyes were wet. Other customers had gone quiet now. Forks paused mid-air. A man near the counter discreetly wiped his eyes. Lily nodded, overwhelmed. "It's not a big thing," she said. "I just didn't want her to feel alone." Ethan's mother reached into her purse and pulled out a small notebook. With careful writing, she slid it toward Lily. "You gave me a voice today." Lily pressed her hand to her mouth, tears spilling before she could stop them. Ethan turned away for a moment, steadying himself. When he faced Lily again, his expression had changed. Not commanding, not distant, but deeply human. "Will you sit with us for a minute?" he asked. "On your break." Lily hesitated. I'm not supposed to—" "I'll clear it with your manager," Ethan said. "Please." When Lily returned, apron folded over her arm, she sat beside Ethan's mother. They signed slowly at first, about the weather, about the diner, about Lily's father. Then faster, laughter blooming between them like a language rediscovered. Ethan watched, helplessly moved. For years, he had used money to protect his mother from the world. In doing so, he had accidentally built a wall around her, and a shy waitress with trembling hands had just shown him how to tear it down. He knew then that this moment wasn't something he could repay with a tip. It was something he would carry with him for the rest of his life. When Lily stood to return to work, Ethan's mother held her hand for a moment longer than necessary, her eyes soft and shining. She signed slowly, deliberately, as if she wanted Lily to remember every word. "Promise me you won't stop using your hands to help people feel seen." Lily nodded, tears blurring her vision. "I promise." Ethan paid the bill at the counter, leaving a tip so large the cashier gasped. But as Lily later realized, that wasn't the real gift. The next morning, Lily's manager called her into the office. Her heart sank. "I got a call last night," he said carefully. Lily braced herself. "I'm sorry if I—" "You didn't do anything wrong," he cut in. "In fact, someone wants to sponsor free sign language classes for our entire staff and provide a raise for you." Lily stared at him, stunned. Later that week, Lily received a handwritten note. "My mother hasn't smiled like that in years. You reminded me that accessibility isn't luxury. It's dignity. Thank you for seeing her." There was no signature. There didn't need to be. Months passed. The diner became known for something unexpected. Not just good food, but kindness. Employees learned basic sign language. Deaf customers began to visit regularly, welcomed, understood. Sometimes Ethan and his mother returned. Not with cameras, not with announcements. Just quiet meals and warm conversations. Lily was no longer quite so shy. Her hands still trembled sometimes, but now from purpose, not fear. One afternoon, as Lily signed the specials to a new customer, Ethan's mother watched proudly from across the room. She leaned toward her son and signed with a gentle smile. "This is how you change the world." Ethan nodded, eyes wet again. Because sometimes the most powerful reactions don't come from wealth or words, but from a simple act of kindness that reminds everyone what it means to truly listen.